Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be very much interesting because we have Parth with us. He had been selected in Akasa Airways, so he will be sharing his overall experience with Akasa Airlines. Okay, so let's start. Okay, Parth, so firstly tell me that how did you apply for Akasa?
Yes, so earlier in December there was a vacancy of cabin crew and ground staff services and other operations in Akasa Airways. So I applied on their careers website. I went on Akasa's website, chose the careers part, and in that I entered my details in the cabin crew segment. They requested for my personal details like date of birth and name, surname, and place I belong, and they also asked about whether I'm a previous experienced cabin crew and the kind of position I'm applying for. So I was a fresher cabin crew and I applied for a fresher cabin crew. There were 3 vacancies. One was for IFM, which is in-flight manager. Another one was for senior cabin crew, and the first one was for fresh cabin crew. So I applied for fresh cabin crew and followed all the steps and submitted my application.
Okay, that's very nice to hear. Okay, so Parth, tell me, when did you get the invitation back from Akasa?
Yeah, so I received the mail for my first interview on 17th of January, and my first interview was scheduled on 27th of January.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a virtual interview.
Yeah, so usually we get the invitation within 1 month, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so tell me everything I want to know, like explain when did you reach there, what was the scenario, and how did you face all the rounds of the interview, and tell me that how did you feel after getting selected. Okay, explain everything.
Surely. So the first round of interview, we had almost 60 to 70 people who were giving interview together, and then we were separated into different slots in different timings. I was assigned the time slot of 11 a.m. in the morning, and then I appeared for the online interview. There were 2 people who were taking care of the interview, and they asked me some questions including tell me a bit about yourself, why do you want to become a cabin crew, what do you know about Akasa Airways, and the tagline of Akasa Airways. That was the first round of interview, and then they said that they will be calling me for a physical round in the next round. Then after a month's time, I received another interview link which said we are not able to call you because of the rising coronavirus cases. And then I was invited for another round of virtual interview, which was again a round where people were getting shortlisted for the final round of interview. And then over there they asked me questions like again the same questions: why cabin crew, what do you know about Akasa Airways, tell me about the 3 values that a cabin crew should behold. And then they asked me about my BMI, my height, my weight, and whether or not I have tattoos on my body, and things like that.
So it happened in virtual interview itself.
Yes, this happened in virtual interview.
After 1 month virtual interview was
Yes,
held.
after 1 month.
After selection?
Yes.
Oh, you had to wait for a very long time. Okay.
Exactly. And then the virtual interview happened, and I did not get any mail for a few days. But then again, I got the final mail in approximately mid-March, to which I was invited towards the last week of March for giving the final round of interview. Yes, and then it was in Gurgaon. I was invited in Gurgaon, and this was almost 25 people who were invited from a whole lot of people who were interviewed, and me and 1 more person were there for fresh cabin crew recruitment. Rest of them were experienced and therefore a senior cabin crew position and for IFM position. And then I was the first one to reach, so they take your interview on first come first serve basis. You enter the interview room, and first of all they ask you to roll your sleeves. They check your tattoos, they check your pimple marks on the face, and then they also see if you have any kind of marks on your neck, all the visible body parts which while you have your shirts rolled on. And then you also have to remove your blazer and do your BMI test right away. So my BMI test was conducted. I cleared that, and then they asked me to sit and started asking questions. So it was a very generic interview. It was more like conversation wherein they wanted to know a bit more about me and why I left the previous organization and why I'm dealt towards aviation. And after that, they started asking me what has been your growth in the previous organization, and how do you see yourself with Akasa Airways, and how would you feel if you are linked with Akasa Airways as an employee. And I pretty much gave very confident and positive answers to all the questions, because the one thing which I believe was being truthful and not lying about what you have to say is the best way to answer all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I did, and they really appreciated my approach. And within 3 days we got the result. I had traveled back down to my city. They sent me a mail saying you have been selected and you have to go for medical round. Now the medical round has to be taken care by you. The charges will be taken care by you. And in Akasa Airways, there are different kinds of medical tests. So one of them is heart sonography, then there is BMI, which is height and weight test, then there is Ishihara test, then there is hearing test, there's vision test,
blood test,
blood test, urine
WBC,
test. Yes.
RBC.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all of these kind of tests, you have to go through those, and then they also ask for a deposit amount for fresh cabin crew. So for fresh cabin crew, the deposit amount was, at my time, it was expected to be somewhere between 50 to 60,000 rupees.
15 to 16 or
50 to 60.
50 to 60,000.
Yes.
Okay.
So including the medicals and the deposit amount, it was nearing around 70 to 72,000 rupees of total investment before joining Akasa. Yes. So
Okay.
that's how the entire process went on.
Okay, the last question is like how should they prepare about for the interview, any kind of airlines interview, aviation interview,
Yes.
and how should they develop those qualities? And
Right.
is there any like a requirement of any kind of certification for applying? So you can tell them about that.
So see, first of all, in aviation, it's very important that one, you have to be very truthful about who you are, and because there are a couple number of background verifications that happen after every round of interview. So you have to be honest about who you are and where you belong. Secondly, it does not matter. You do not have to be a subject matter expert in aviation. It's not necessary to have certification courses or any kind of degree. Yes, if you do that, it will be a plus.
Yeah,
Yes,
plus
but then I saw YouTube videos like that of Durgesh. You should refer to his channel, because he helps many a times to many people, and I've seen myself people appreciating his videos. So yes, you should refer to YouTube videos. You should try being aware with the current affairs of the aviation industry, and whenever you go for any interview, keep your information about the company up to date. Go through the company website, understand their values, their core values, and their motto, their mission, their vision, the tagline, and the meaning of the logo. These small things are very important in any interview of a cabin crew. And then whenever you go, enter with a smile, be confident, and if you are not comfortable with speaking in English, let them know. But English obviously is a must. Is a must. So if you are not able to answer some question, be honest. Tell them I am not able to answer this at this point of time, but I will certainly love to learn and get back to you on this. Yes.
Okay, so Parth, it was really a great discussion with you, and they will learn a lot of things. Thank you so much for being with me and being with us, and really all the best for your future. Thank you so much. Okay.